Hello Facebook and YouTube. Today on How Hugh, I'm going to stencil a mountain pattern on this thin ply I have. They used to call this stuff door skin. I don't know what they call it now, but it's about 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's kind of a ply material. And I'm going to stencil it on here. And I've never stenciled before, but I watched some YouTube videos that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And I got some advice from a couple of artist type people who've done this type of thing before. I want to stencil onto this, and then I'm going to cut those out and make templates out of them so that I can cut more pieces and put them on the square drop trailer as a mountain scene, as a 3D mountain scene, as a reverse stencil scene. So, never done anything like this before. I'm not particularly artistic, but I have a plan. Let's see if it works. Okay, now this is some spray adhesive. Does that show up? Yeah. Some spray adhesive, temporary adhesive for spraying on the stencil so I can reposition it and put it against the wood. Okay, we'll give that a minute and see if we can get it to lay pretty flat. Okay, got this stuff called Mod Podge. Never used it before, but it's supposed to be kind of like a filler, a glue, something like that. What I plan on doing with this is I'm going to go ahead and paint the stencil and hope that it makes it fills it a little bit so that when I paint, the paint doesn't run. Okay, so right now the Mod Podge is drying. I'm going to let that dry completely. Then I'm going to get out some paint and see if I can't paint get a coat of paint on there, pull it up, have some fairly straight lines, and then get the jigsaw out and start making a template. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to do this from what I'm hearing. You can use a little brush and do that. I'm going to go with something that I know. I'm going to try the can and see how that does, since this isn't going to be a finished project. This is going to give me the outline that I'm going to cut, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to see if I can get nice clean lines anyways. So there are some areas where I'm going to have to hold it down with my fingers, so I'm going to put my glasses on so I can really look at this and do it slowly. Okay, I'm gonna let that set, and then in a few minutes think about doing a second coat or not. It's 2 coats with the rattle can, so we'll let that dry, and then we'll pull that stencil off and see if we have something I can make a template out of. Okay, here's the moment of truth. See how those lines turn out. Do that piece of tape first. Get that out of the way. And let's lift this thing up and see how it's done. Okay, let's get a little closer. Okay, there it is. There's some areas where The hodgepodge stuff is still drying. The lines are fairly crisp. There's a little bit of bleed through on some of them, but that's not going to stop me from being able to cut those into pieces and mount them on the camper. Okay, let's continue making the stencil. Okay, so there we go. That's 4 of them. So they're each 1/8 inch thick. That way I'll be able to piece them together however I want to. I can flip them over, I can paint them. And I need to do 8 feet on one side and a little bit less than 4 feet on the other side because of the door and a hatch. And that'll be, I'll paint them blacker, they'll be black. And then I'll glue them and, you know, a couple little nails in them. They're real thin and light. I don't think they'll bother much. Okay. Next step. All the pieces are cut out, so I'm going to put some couple coats of paint on all the sides and edges and everything. So let's get going. Let's get to work. A lot of edges. There's the first coat of black paint on them. It's going to take a few coats on each side and the edges. And there are a lot of edges there. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, got a couple of coats of paint on the first side. Let those dry and get a coat of paint on the back side. Then let those dry. Then attach them to the trailer, see how they look. It's time to glue and attach some of the cutout. So this is the first section I'm going to do that's going to look like that. I'm going to use Gorilla Glue. Let's see if that shows up. There it does. And we'll see how that does. Nails. Okay, the glue's drying. That's the driver's side. There's the back. Here's the passenger side. Once the glue dries, we'll put a little bit of Mod Podge acrylic finish sealer on it and get some better pictures. Now I remember why I don't like Gorilla Glue. It doesn't dry clear. So it shows all of the places where it bubbled out. So I'm going to be hitting it with a little paintbrush to clean it up. Oh well. That's the side. That's one side. There's the back. There's the other side. Alrighty. Well, that's it for now. Avoid Gorilla Glue. Sticks like crazy, but does not dry clear. I guess I got some clear drying stuff that I didn't know about, but anyways, out.